Hello, welcome to another video. Hi. So, I tweeted about this a little bit earlier, but you know, I got some ideas from scrolling through, seeing what kind of videos there were on the game since the last time I've been fairly active on it, and you know, I noticed a trend and I kinda got some ideas that I'm gonna work with. So I wanted to start off here. As you can see, yeah, no, we got the reward tank. It's a pretty good reward tank. It's basically a tier 9 tank at tier 8, but Swedish instead of British. So yeah, this is basically a Centurion 7-1. Almost in its entirety, it's basically a 7-1. Good tank. Pretty good tank. Pretty good premium tank. It's not super mobile, and when I say super mobile, I don't mean like, oh, but it's a medium tank. I mean it's a little slow power to weight wise. It takes a little bit to get up to its speed. I'm gonna play it while I continue talking about this stuff before I get continuously sidetracked, because as you know, I like to do these all in one take and not really edit a whole hell of a lot, because I want to give you the full experience of what it is like when I'm sitting here recording. It's no different than how I am on stream. To be honest, it's about the same. The only difference is I don't have someone here talking to me in chat. So, what am I doing in this video, you might be asking? Well, I'll probably explain that in the title. If not, here's the explanation. I wanted to talk a little bit about the crew situation on console and my issues with it, because I noticed something when I was going through. And I'll demonstrate that in a moment. So, I was like, okay, we get this free tank, do we get a crew with it? The answer is no. You don't get a free crew with this tank, you just get the tank, and the garage slot for the tank. It's like, fine, cool, but here's the issue. You don't get a crew with this. And I got to thinking, and I sat around, and I was like, are there commanders for every nation? And then I really scoured and was like, wait a second here. Some of these don't make any sense. And to be honest, I'm gonna hammer this point home a little bit more, because this is exactly what I think when I look through the game. Is like, the only options you have for commanders when you're recruiting commanders, 3D commanders, and they're like 500,000 silver a commander. And it's only 3D commanders, which I'm gonna put this out here again. In this game, you only see your commander in the post screen and in the garage. So, realistically, they don't really serve that much of a purpose outside of purely cosmetic. So, why are they so expensive? Like, once you get your, like, yeah, the 3-star crews are cool because they earn, you know, they get more XP, and they get, like, XP faster, but once you hit the crew skill cap, it's like, there's no reason. Also, apologies for my horrible aim. This is my first game today. I'm still warming up. There we go. I'll take care of that. So I've been like wondering, do they have like any plans at all to make more reasonable commander prices, or Or are we just kind of stuck with the uber expensive 500 grand commanders that don't really help all that much, to be honest. Like, here's something that I would propose is like, in those kind of 3D commanders, like, earn more credits while being equipped to a tank, or earn more free XP or something. A little something other than just being flashy cosmetic. Yeah, I know you fired. Yeah, you messed up, buddy. You messed up, buddy. My team is getting the absolute shit kicked out of them right now, which is less than ideal. But I can at least get some shots into the tank going across the bridge. There's so many motherfuckers. We're gonna have a good game here regardless, but this is probably not gonna turn out super well for me. Yeah, because they're capping the base. And yeah, no, I'm not even gonna bother contesting that, because the only way we win is if they throw the cap and come this way. Which I highly doubt they will. Oh, speaking of tanks, yeah, there's death. Yep, there is death. But now that I've played a decent enough game, yeah, because this thing makes good credit. It makes really good credit. And if you know you can punch through things with the Hesh, you've got pretty good DPM, regardless of its slow rate of fire. It's not a bad tank. It's definitely not as good as the Drogon, even though the Drogon, basically, you trade off all of your armor for a faster firing gun, which I think is worth it, to be honest. But this is what I wanted to note. When you go to commanders here, and you recruit a commander, gold commander starts with 3 perks, earns XP at, 130% or 115%. The problem with this is, though, like, you're limited to 9 total perks on your commander. You can have 9 perks, and usually, this is honestly what I would recommend, is if you really want to commit to one of these commanders, have 1 commander per national line. Basically, like, 1 commander, like 1 tank line, because 9 times out of 10, a tank line's gonna play very similar all the way up, or at least from tier 8 and up. So, like, for instance, here in the Swedish line, if we go up the medium tank line, you want to have a view range, a little bit of camo, and your rate of fire gun handling. Other than that, it's like personal preference, but you kind of want to have those. So, let's go back to commanders here. And we're gonna use my like 5100 as a base. As you can see, my 5100 crew has 3 skills already. And it's Sixth Sense, Brothers in Arms, and Rapid Loading. Why those 3? Because they honestly are some of the few that justify having spots. As well as, I believe it's Steady Aim? I'm gonna take a look in here real quick just to... Actually, no, let's back up. Let's go to a tank that actually has a crew in it. I don't think I've put any things on this. Yeah, here we go, because I will use this crew. So, let's take a look at the skills here. Rapid Loading, 10% increased reload speed. Justifiable. Brothers in Arms, 10% increase to skill, effectiveness, and crew performance. Justifiable. Steady Aim, plus 10% to accuracy. Also justifiable. And, of course, Sixth Sense. Knowing when you've been detected. These are skills that, honestly, I deem more valuable than a lot of the other skills in this game for a majority of general gameplay. You can use them on any tank. It works. Deadeye is another one that I like to have. Anything that doesn't sling HE, Deadeye is exactly what you want. But you really, really want to prioritize this on high caliber guns. So I would say like 130 plus millimeter guns. Or if you're playing, for instance, if you put this crew on a premium tank and lower tier and it's got a 152 or a 105 howitzer or something like that, it works there too. But the caveat is you have to use AP, APCR, or heat shells. It does not work with HE. But you will notice its effect, because it will in fact damage crew and modules a hell of a lot more effectively. And the reason that I like this perk, for instance, is because I like it on autoloaders. Particularly large autoloaders, or very fast firing and reloading autoloaders, because you can ammo rack things a lot more consistently with this. A lot less after some changes, but it still works. It's a good perk. If you have really bad terrain resistances, you might want to give up some stuff for clutch braking and off-road driving, just something to give you a little bit of help. Camouflage if you're using sneaky tank destroyers that aren't, that don't have the camo rating of a fucking house, staring at, some things like the shit barn, for instance, which, albeit it's a very stealthy tank when you play from the back, but that's just because you're outside of view range. There are tanks that have very little camo, like, I would never put this on a fucking heavy tank. Don't waste your precious skill slots on something like that. You should not be sitting in the back with any kind of heavy tank. Second line? Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, Tiger 2 in the second line, that's fine. But you're still not going to be making use of camo. You're still going to be using your armor. You can just play further back. like muffled shot, green thumb, and camouflage are things that I would all take on light tanks, to be honest. Some tank destroyers, but remember, this is going to eat up 3 skill slots, so you have to make damn sure you don't need anything else. Generally, I would recommend having like general mechanic, because repair speed helps out a bunch. Track mechanic and wheel mechanic, very situational as well. Track mechanic, useful on a majority of things. Honestly, like, supply conservation is okay. Firefighting is okay. Fire prevention is better. Why is fire prevention better than firefighting? You don't need firefighting if you don't have fires. Self-explanatory. Armor angling, okay. I kind of hate that this is a perk. I'll be honest, I kind of hate that this exists in the game. But it is what it is. Controlled impact is good if you are going to be ramming tanks. Other than that, I really wouldn't recommend it. Situational awareness, good. Scouts, mediums, some TDs, anything that starts out with decent V range, situational awareness, you're golden. Comms technician is okay. Marked target is good if you want to support artillery and tank destroyers and be just generally annoying to the other team. But would I take it over a lot of these other skills? Probably not. I'll be honest with you. But I don't know. I just kind of have an issue with the limit on skills, because some of these skills, they're just not worth taking because they eat up slots. Because like by the time you get the essentials, you get Born Leader, which Brothers in Arms, you get Rapid Loading, you get Steady Aim, and you get Sixth Sense. That's 4 out of your 9 slots taken up already. So you have 5 slots essentially to kind of tweak to whatever you need for your tank, which is why I recommend, if you do invest in a commander, which again, my controller's being funky and disconnecting a lot. Don't worry about that. So honestly, if you're gonna go for these, like if you're gonna commit to a commander, my best recommendation is like find like the general progression of the tank line you're going for and have one commander for that line. Because you can level that commander while you're grinding the tanks, you can get them more skills and improve their efficacy at that line, make them way more efficient. And that way, I think it more justifies the cost, because it's going to be a 9,000 credit cost to move that crew to the next tank. I'm still not a huge fan of the crews being 500,000. Give us some 2D options at that point. Like, give us some crews that are like 50,000 or something. They don't even have to come with a skill right away, but just, you know, give like an entry-level option. Because 500 grand? Like 500,000 silver for some, like, if you want someone to start playing the game, you need to give them some entry-level stuff. One commander from the tutorial is not enough. Like, recruiting a commander should not be that hefty of an investment, where your options are 500,000 credits or gold. There needs to be some more options here for entry-level crews. And I'm gonna show this here as well. My other issue with the commanders when you recruit a commander. Because I did not show this a little bit ago. I want to show it now. I'm noticing something when I go through these commanders. These commanders, aside from a few, are all fairly modern looking crews. Like, we've got a few that aren't, but a majority are a little modern looking, you know? And I'm noticing that there's some nations that are missing representation here. Like, where's the Italians? Where's the Italians? Huh? Where's the Pole? Like, aside from Wojciech, which I don't know why in the absolute hell they had to Wojciech as a Czech commander at one point. Wojciech is Polish. Aside from Wojciech, there's really not any representation for Polish commanders here, are there? Like, we're missing some nations here, Wargaming. I'd like to see some more options. Like, if we could get something that was around, like, even 50,000. I think even as low as, like, even down to, like, 50,000 for a 2D crew, matching the nationality of the tank. I think that would be fine. Like, that would be an okay, acceptable entry-level thing. Because you play, like, one game of Cold War, you've gotten a 2D crew. Like, that would be fine. That'd be understandable. One game in the T95 E3, basically, and you can recruit a crew. I think that would be very acceptable for entry-level crews. Like, they don't need to all be 3D. They don't need to all be 3D. Like, I get it. You like your 3D crews, but calm down a little bit. Like, you want more people to try the game out. You want more people to stay with the game, yeah? You're bringing in double-barrel tanks. Finally, after so fucking long, I'm really bitter about that. And yes, I am gonna say, I'm gonna fucking swear about this, goddammit. I remember when you all first announced those things about 2 years ago. Yeah. I've been waiting, Wargaming. So, I'm gonna try and I want to try them out. And I hope they do come relatively soon because, I'm gonna be playing. I'm gonna be playing this next season, so... I mean, you can tell, I started playing right around the end of Monster Mash. So I did not take part in that. And I somehow managed to make it up to 95 on the pass. Without really having that much time. So, yeah. I'll be playing the next season. Of course, this is my free-to-play account, but hey, if you see me out and about, hi. hello. I'm back under, this is my free-to-play account, since I can't play my, my main account for a little while until I can replace my Xbox. In the meantime, though, I think I've rambled on enough. This is about like a 25+ minute video at this point, where I've played a game and I've rambled most of it, and displayed my grievances towards the commander system that's on console. But anyways, I'll do more in the near future. This was just on my mind today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.